We are Lisa and Tim of Old Rope Salvage, and for almost 3 years, that's right, 3 years, count them,
Start unbolting stuff.
we have been transforming this once rusty old Bedford Firetruck, piece by precious piece, into the fully restored marvel which is emerging butterfly-like from the ruined chrysalis of our workshop. Terrible metaphors aside,
That's ridiculous.
our dream to turn this old lady into the house on wheels of our dreams is getting closer. In our last video, we started work on the last of the really big pieces, the giant front axle. And this week we are continuing with the axle, cleaning it up, bolting it back onto the chassis frame, and then getting to work sandblasting and powder coating its disassembled parts. It's a filthy, filthy job.
Oh yeah, perfect.
But someone, not me, has to do it.
She's loving it.
As Tim once said, today's rusty, grimy parts are tomorrow's clean, shiny parts. So join us in our workshop as we take one step closer to getting this thing reassembled and reunited with all of its many, many, many pieces.
Welcome to another enthralling episode of Old Rope Salvage. As you could probably saw in last week's video, if you watched it, we took the front axle completely apart in the tent over there. And then since then, I've been cleaning up the parts. They're very greasy, very oily. I've just been cleaning them out with petrol and cleaner and laying them out on the bench, seeing what we need to fix. A couple of things we want to replace. Like we've got some new tractor seal joints on order. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of cleaning up, a lot of work done on all these bits to make them like brand new. And also, we've got to paint an axle in the tent. After we painted that, we've also got to dry out some sand because our old sand was getting so dusty. Got some new sand, which we picked up at bargain price down at B&M.
We did.
It's really good when you get bags with slight holes in them, they're half price. So we got some bags of sand, because there's going to be some sandblasting to clean up these parts. We're going to have powder coating, plating, painting.
Just want to say a huge welcome to new subscribers that have joined in the last couple of weeks. I've noticed that there are people watching from all over the globe who have Bedford trucks as well. It sounds like they've sort of spread out across the world. So let us know where you're watching from in the comments. It's really kind of exciting to us to see people watching from all these countries.
Global.
So, okay, well, looks like we're going to be busy. I've got my overalls on, so I'm ready for some action.
Well, I don't know where to start really. Do I clean up some more or should we get going with the axle?
Fortunately, he's done most of the really, really filthy work before I arrived this morning, so...
Right, let's get going. We've got a lot of work to fit into this episode. Hopefully we can get most of it done. We'll see how it goes.
It's going to be good.
There's a lot to do.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, let's get going. Cup of tea.
There's been a lot of sandblasting in the 3 years since we started this restoration, some of it easier than others for sure, but although it's been gruelling at times, it has been without a doubt the best way we could have cleaned the paint, the rust and the dirt from just about every corner of this old truck. And as well as cleaning, it's also the perfect surface prep for painting. And since getting the more powerful compressor, it's been, well, the blast. That being said, it still took Tim the best part of 2 days to get round the front axle, absolute beast that it is. If only we could put real life on time-lapse. Only for sanding, obviously. Maybe cleaning. Queuing on the Tamar Bridge.
Right, I might just give you a little axle update. Please forgive my appearance. I have been blasted and painted and all sorts of stuff. The axle, now, half of it is still on the floor down here. we have the drum brakes have been separated. As I think we said on the last one, the only way to really do these, the best way, is there's some captive nuts in the actual drum itself, and you put bolts through them and it pushes the centre out. No amount of whacking it, hitting it or anything really works, but this really does work. All the other bits are on the floor, and on the bench here, this is the other side of it, and that has been cleaned up in preparation for the next step for them all, which is plating, powder coating and painting. In the tent I have the axle assembly itself, which is currently in quite wet primer because it's literally just been painted, so it's good to get this out of the way. As we said before, what we're going to do now is put this one that's been top coated, take this whole unit, bolt it back onto the chassis where it's supposed to be. We'll block it up on the axle so it's all mounted properly, and then we'll rebuild it from there. I've still got to do the cover here. I was kind of looking at it now going, why didn't I just sandblast all of it and just paint it and just be done with it? Well, I want to take it off, I want to have a good look inside, I want to clean it out. The back one had a lot of gungy mess in it, so I'm going to clean it all out, make some new gaskets for it, and probably powder coat the cover. Also, I've had to kind of come up with an ideal way of supporting this without having it resting on blocks. So I made up some wooden discs and on some quite long poles. So there's one on the outside and one as far in as I can get, and that is supporting it. And at the other end, just a piece of wood with a drill going through it. Hopefully that's going to stay in there. Yeah, but all just so that it's quite hard with big things like this to actually have somewhere that doesn't need painting where you can mount it, but unfortunately every bit of this needs painting. The rear one was slightly different because the outside of the axles weren't getting painted, so it was, I taped them all up and used them to support it, but the front one's a bit different. But yeah, that's really good. Hopefully the weather stays okay. On Monday I'll top coat it, give it as long as I can to like cure the paint, and then put it back on. Certainly getting there.
Sand drying out in the tent, we set about getting the front axle into place on the chassis frame. With the chassis getting heavier with each new part we had recently reattached to it, it seemed like a good time to replace our little axle stands and wooden frame with something more substantial, like, ah yes, the axle. Great idea. And after some foraging in the barns for some sturdy blocks to rest it on, that is precisely what we did.
Ah, that was a bit of fun. It's there! Brilliant. We managed to get the axle cleaned up, painted and rolled back into place, and now the whole truck is supported on the actual axle itself. I didn't realise my access to where the diff cover is a little bit like climb underneath now. I'm going to make a new gasket for that and powder coat the cover. I probably could have done it when I painted it when I did it, but I made these plans. In the centre of the diff then, nothing is getting taken apart. The truck's only had 10,000 miles on it, so all I'm doing is taking the cover off to have a really good clean it out, have a good look at it, make sure there's no big chips of metal in it. The rear one was pretty good, but it was filthy and it needed a really good scoop out of all this thick grease. Planning on doing the front, same for the front one here. So yeah, cover will be off, clean it out, powder coat the cover, put it back on again. And the rest of the suspension and, the rest of all the axle parts will get rebolted on the truck where it sits now. It was mentioned to us on one previous video on the comments, someone saying about putting it on a bench. Now, this has worked out fine for us. Rolling it into the tent, cleaning it up, bringing it back, not a problem. Working at the right height is really nice, but the axle is about half a ton. I don't even know if our bench would take that. This has just worked out fine, so yeah. Another step on the way to finishing the truck, I think. Actually having this back in place, and now on all four corners it is only supported by these blocks. That's pretty good. So yeah, but get all the parts to bolt on cleaned up now.
So today Tim's got all the bits, the gubbins off of the front axle, laying out on the bench just in front of me here, and we're going to start working through those this next week with sandblasting, powder coating, plating, as we said before. So there's quite a lot to do, quite a lot coming up. Just thought sometimes it's nice just to take a moment and just reflect on how far we've come, because I think it was about a year ago that we were actually sandblasting the big chassis frame, if you can remember that. That's something I will certainly never forget. And it's been quite a difficult year. What followed on from that was a really difficult winter, and at one point we thought we just weren't getting anything done, and it has been a lot more slow going than it might have been had we not had all that difficult winter. But it's feeling pretty good now. It's feeling like, yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, it's just so greasy and horrible. Right, making sure there's no damage on any of the faces of stuff, so going around with the old file on a few places, cleaning all the threads out, taking all the studs out. So grimy. Dirt.
Now the honeymoon's over, it just up and died, but it was good, good, good. All the good times and the bad, the best times I ever
Oh, I need to get this scooped out, some of this crud. I'll clean it with this nice clean tissue. Oh, perfect.
Can we just cut to it being completely done?
I think it's going to have to go into the petrol. There's some bolts in there.
She was way past good. She was really fine and it was good, good, good. But she lost the grip on the hands of time. But it was good, good,
Tim to clean up all the parts from the front axle, to be perfectly honest, because as you just seen, it is absolutely the grimmest, most horrible job, and the state of his hands is a sight to behold.
Brand new.
But he has cleaned up pretty much everything now on this table, apart from just that last bit that you saw him doing a second ago. And that means that once the sand dries out in the tent, then we can start sandblasting all of these, which I'm going to do. I'm really excited about that because I haven't actually done any sandblasting for ages. And we can start powder coating and everything else that we're going to do with all these bits. And the really great thing, which I think properly realised this morning, is that the front axle is the final big part of all the dirty, filthy, gross, horrible work. And I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
She thinks I'm a little lazy, I think she's a little crazy. We like summer and we like spring, watching wrestling in the ring. She ain't shy, she speaks her mind, tough as nails and smooth as wine. We burn hot as kerosene, baby, we got our own thing. She ain't skinny and I ain't tall, and that don't bother us at all. I run naked through the yard, she flash every police car, drinking wine and getting tired, and shooting out the damn street lights. How does she put up with me? Oh baby, we got our own thing. We got our
Feels like it's been a little while since I've done any powder coating. I hope the equipment works, and I hope I can remember how to do it. What have we got in there at the minute? The cover for the differential, and two brackets. One is the shock bracket mount, the one that unbolts, and there's the one that does a brake line. Should be two of them, but we can't get one apart at the minute. Right, so they're preheating in the oven just to burn off any potential oil or dirt that's on them. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to give them a coating of the zinc primer. It's going to go in the oven just for a few minutes, take them out, and then put some satin black. Or it says matte black on the packet, but it's satin really. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. If it works. It's primed. I'm going to put some primer on the inside of this. Should be compatible with any oil or anything. And I won't paint the inside, but I'm just going to put primer. It'll get around the edges and everything. So
You don't actually need primer for powder coating, but on the steel items, having the zinc coating gives a real added protection from corrosion, particularly if you're doing things like steel wheels or anything like that. If you're just doing aluminium parts, you wouldn't use it at all. So now you know. Tim told me to tell you that.
it's good, doesn't it? So that's it. Right, that's going to go back in the oven just for to let it gel out. Probably just for like 5-6 minutes, and then in the meantime, whilst that's in the oven, I'll clean out the powder in this and replace it with the black, and then yeah, we'll put it back on. Right, let's get that in the oven. Hit by the heat. It's hot.
There ain't nothing that he can't fix. He's a hard-headed son of a bitch. We got married on the Georgian line. Watch out, ladies, this one is mine. He works hard and just don't quit. Even if his pants don't fit, Lord, he'll be the death of me. Baby, we've got our own thing. We eat good like you ought to do. Mashed potatoes and gravy too. Picnic table out in the back.
200 degrees C for 10 minutes. That's what we need to cook it for. 200 degrees The 10 minutes starts from the time when the item in the oven gets up to that 200 degrees. So in the case of these, well, this is already quite warm still, so it'll give it a few more minutes just to heat up to the right temperature. Right, let's get this one in then, I guess. Interesting to see, even though I only painted the other side, how much kind of goes round and goes around the edges of everything. Pretty cool. Right, get you in there. Right. So easy, isn't it?
Holding hands and touching minds.
Smoking grass and feeling fine.
We're as crazy as a cuckoo clock.
We're the weird ones on the block.
Stuff some cash down in her bra.
I even like my mother-in-law.
She's my backwoods beauty queen.
Give you more.
We got our own thing. We got our own thing. We don't need no rain.
Yeah.
Hey, rich, but son of a
Try on that bad boy. How do you get on with that one? He's loving it. Right. We had a very busy day yesterday. Got a lot done. Lisa, her first go back again in the sandblasting tent, and she had a great time. She loved it and didn't complain about having sand in her eyes or anything at all. But yeah, we got quite a lot done. It's been a while since we've done any powder coating, so it was really nice just to get some of the more simple pieces out of the way. And every time we do it, I'm just amazed by the results. It's so quick. Once they're cleaned up, they're just so quick to powder coat. And yeah, we got quite a few of the more simple bits. Today, I think we're going to do a bit more. Oh,
Hooray!
it's one of the backing plates. In fact, actually, I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm just going to go get the other one. We've just come in this morning. That is pretty amazing. Yeah, so the transformation is so quick and so good, and this powder coat stuff is so durable. But yeah, we're going to go on today and do a few more of the slightly more complicated pieces and see if we can knock out a bit more of this from the table. Gradually, this is all looking a little bit better, all tidier. We've got some new parts turned up, so we have some new seals, the tractor joint seals, and some new bearings that are going into these swivel hub things. So a couple more little things and we'll have all the bits we need to rebuild it. So that'll be pretty cool. All going good. Minutes on high. See what we get. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's even better than the other side. There's no pitting in this one. Brand new. As soon as this cools down, that's it. It's usable completely. So yeah, that's pretty quick, much quicker than painting. And it's warm over here as well.
There's no time for resting, Tim. Still tons to do. And these two drive sleeves gave us quite a lot of trouble. We really wanted them in the chrome effect powder coat to imitate an old style hubcap. And although the results were great as always, we've discovered a problem with the chrome, which means we may have to slightly compromise our vision. We'll talk more about that in our next video, because sadly, for now, we've gone and run right out of time.
Sadly, that looks like we're nearing the end of another video. We've got quite a lot done in this one. We're not finished, and we would like to be able to get stuff finished, but we've definitely got a long way. The axle, as you can see, we sandblasted all that and painted it and reattached it and got through an awful lot of this, to be honest. We've got some more stuff to clean up still, but we've got the bearings we need, we've got the seals, most of the seals we need, got a lot of gaskets to make, and got a load more of the powder coating done. Yeah, there's some plating to be done and a little bit more powder coating, but quite soon, hopefully, I'll be able to start reassembling and putting it back together again.
So we've still got quite a bit to do. As always, we would like to have brought you more by the end of this video, but we can only do so much in so much time, and as you probably noticed, our videos are already at a good 3 weeks apart. That's really just because obviously we have to do some work and record it and then edit it. So as soon as we turn the camera off today, Tim's actually going to get back in the sandblasting tent. He's going to get on with these, which are going to be gold. Maybe we'll drop in a bit of that just on the tail end of this video.
If I get them done.
So keep watching just for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And in the next video, hopefully, we'll be putting all this back together onto the main part of the axle, which is, as you saw, back in place on the chassis.
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks as always for all the comments, and we've had quite a few more subscribers recently, so it's quite promising to see that we're able to share with more people our journey.
Thanks for subscribing, and all the brilliant comments, and also a huge thanks to our patrons as always, and a huge big welcome to our latest patron, Benjamin Snow. Great of you to join us, Benjamin, and for your messages and everything as well. Really interesting stuff that you sent to us there. I'm sure we'll have more to say about that when we get on to building the camper part of the back soon. Yeah, lots to come.
So thanks very much, and until next time,
take it easy.
See you later.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, right.
Crack on then.
No, you crack on. You got to edit the video now.